Imagine this. The year is 450 BC. The moon hangs pale and cold in the sky. A newborn baby cries, not in a warm home, but on the edge of a cliff in Sparta. The stones are sharp and unforgiving. The air itself seems to taste of iron. Around the infant, a circle of Spartan elders stands silent, their faces carved from shadow, completely unmoved. The baby is too small. Its cry is weak. One of its legs bends just slightly inward. It's a flaw, a defect. An elder lifts the infant by its ankle, studying the tiny, trembling body. The breathing is uneven. The skin is pale. Behind them, the cliff waits, and the wind howls like an ancient, terrible warning. The elder whispers a single word. Unfit. His fingers loosen, and then silence. A silence that falls like a blade. This was the first law of Spartan survival. Weakness was not forgiven. Compassion was not considered a virtue. To survive was a privilege, not a right. But the fear that drove this horrific practice was far deeper than simple cruelty. Sparta was terrified of itself. You see, for every one Spartan citizen, there were 7 helots enslaved people living under their rule. 7 to 1. That's a perfect recipe for a bloody revolt. A single uprising, one moment of weakness, could wipe Sparta off the map overnight. So, to prevent this, the Spartans forged extreme laws. No weak children. No liabilities. Only strength could survive. Newborns with any perceived defect were thrown from the cliffs of Mount Taygetus. Mothers were forbidden to weep. Fathers were forbidden to beg. They would say, "A broken child is not a child of Sparta." For those who were deemed fit, childhood became a relentless audition for survival. They entered the agog, a brutal training system designed to be a crucible of pain and discipline. Boys were systematically starved to teach them cunning and how to steal food. They were beaten to learn endurance and to never show pain. They were isolated to learn self-mastery and emotional control. Sparta's goal was to create a society with no weak points, a perfect wall of human shields. But strength without mercy always has a cost. Sparta was undeniably strong because it suffered, but it eventually died because it suffered too much. The Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." To the Spartans, weakness stood in their way, so they carved it out of their society with stone and bone. But another philosopher, Seneca, offered a different warning. No man becomes strong by avoiding hardship. Hardship is what shapes us, but pure brutality only warps us. Sparta was chasing an impossible idea of perfection, but instead of achieving it, they bred a different kind of fragility as society. So rigid, it was unable to adapt, unable to change, and ultimately, unable tolao. The ritual of the cliff reveals a fear deeper than any enemy army. The fear of imperfection, the fear of vulnerability, the fear of simply being human. And doesn't this fear echo into our own lives today? We all have parts of ourselves that we try to throw off a cliff. Our softness, our uncertainty, our imperfections. We try to hide them away. We call it being tough. We call it resilience. But so often, it's just a form of self-destruction. The true lesson from Sparta is not that seeking strength is wrong. The lesson is that strength without compassion becomes cruelty. Discipline without wisdom becomes tyranny, and survival without humanity is just a hollow, empty existence. So, today, I want you to think about the part of yourself you keep trying to kill off. The gentle part, the uncertain part, the imperfect part. Ask yourself why you're trying to get rid of it. Is it truly a weakness? Or is it simply what makes you human? Don't throw it from the cliff. Learn to carry it with dignity. Real strength is not the absence of fragility. Real strength is the mastery of it. The Spartans tried to erase their fears, but you can't destroy what you refuse to face. Erasing fear only makes it deeper and more powerful. You can only learn to endure it and transform it into something more. That is the lesson Sparta forgot, and the lesson we must remember. The fire that forges you is already inside. You just have to dig into it. If you seek ancient wisdom, stay close. Follow for more.